really cold start. She was 0 of 7 to start this game. Step through by McNamara, kick back out. Diggins-Smith fused the line and knocks her home. Skylar Diggins-Smith with 5 quick ones. And Seattle's back up 17.
And what patience by Ezi McNamara. She got stonewalled, kept her pivot, did not force anything, found the open shooter for 3.
Taurasi driving in. Ezi tries to contest, can't do it. Tipped around, rebounded by Seattle. You heard the scream from the crowd as Nika Mule is about to check in and coasting into the lane with absolutely no resistance by the Phoenix defense. Timeout, Nate Tibbetts. The Storm are going to go home with their 5th straight win. They're up 19 with about 27 left.
And turning it on after that last timeout by Noelle Quinn. They looked like they might have been coasting a little bit with a 17-point lead, but Skylar Diggins-Smith slicing past the defense and getting in. The kick out to Copper, always dangerous, and knocks down her 3rd 3 of the game. And this time just Olay defense. Diana Taurasi running out of energy to chase Victoria Vivians with a couple of minutes left to go in this one. And she said, all right, I'll take it, why not? She's up in double figures. So even without Nneka Ogwumike, Vivians with 10, 21 for McNamara. She had 13 in the first quarter, 15 for Lloyd, 17 for Skylar Diggins-Smith. So the offense good enough with 77 points. Their defense rock solid.
And that defense has just been so good, holding opponents to 74 points a game over the last 5. That number is going to get even better. Phoenix is not getting to that number tonight. And then the shooting percentage in the last 5 games, Seattle holding their opponents under 40% at 39.9. That number is going to get better as well, as Phoenix shooting just 32.3%, as Elise mentioned before. 17% from three-point range, just 4 of 23. And this has not just been a good three-point shooting team for Phoenix, this has been a historically good three-point shooting team this year. 95 made threes, second most in history through the first 9 games. 274 attempts is the most in WNBA history. So they have just been relying on the three-pointer to get to their 4-5 record thus far. And when it's not falling and you don't have Brittany Griner, boy, it's going to be tough for them to win. There's no question.
Well, and I think it's not just the amount of three-point shots for Phoenix, it's the percentage as well. They're shooting just a tad under 35% as a team, which is really good numbers. You know, you'd think traditionally 33% from 3 is equal to 50% from 2. You take that all day long, and as a team, that's pretty remarkable. But Diana Taurasi, after coming out that 31-point outing where she made 7 threes, just could not get it going. She is 0 for 6 from deep.
So the Mercury have had half of the games this year where 14 or more made threes have gone down. They had 15 against the Aces on 15 of 36 shooting. They had 14 threes against the Wings on 14 of 35. They had 16 against the Aces on 16 of 33, but they also had, believe it or not, Elise, this is not their worst three-point shooting game of the season. They had a 1 of 27 against Connecticut. My goodness. So the fact they're still shooting 33% or 35% from 3 and they had a 1 of 27?
That game was not pretty.
Yeah, that's true.
For Phoenix. For Connecticut, it was outstanding.
Here's Sutton with it. Mostly bench on the floor for both teams now. Here's Dixon up and over Joyner Holmes for the bucket, 77-60. We will hear from Ezi McNamara, our player of the game, with Elise Woodward as soon as we're done with action here. Williams, Kiana Williams into the game for the first time, misses. Have a reset timeout taken by Phoenix to advance the basketball. 59.6 on the game clock. Interesting call there in a 17-point game. I
think it's just a matter of just getting used to why you use the reset, going late, having a play out of that you want to run just for the next game, certainly not for this one.
Houston. She'll pull up from 15, in and out. She thought it was good. She was backpedaling and everything. Sutton now against Mule. Big screen by Max. Sutton hesitates, now explodes with the left hand and gets it to go. Shook Sutton. And we got a reset timeout the other way. So Noelle Quinn using her reset timeout for the free advancing of the basketball. I think we'll usually see the reset timeouts in close games. Not as much.
Oh, absolutely. And I think just for coaches, that they want their players to get used to, okay, what are we running out of this?
Yeah.
Advance it, get used to it.
Here's Whitcomb with it. Game and shot clock almost the same. Joyner Holmes flings up a three. No. Kiana Williams now hits the three ball. 80-62. Seattle over the 80 mark. Point differential is a potential tiebreaker in the Commissioner's Cup. So an 18-point win or thereabouts. Good for Seattle as they start 1-0, and that will do it. Another turnover at the conclusion of this one by the Phoenix Mercury. They finish the game with 17 of them, and the Seattle Storm get an 18-point win, 80-62, and they do it by virtue of a first quarter where they just got out to a great shooting start. Ezzie Magbegor, 6 of her first 6. She had 13 points in that first quarter of action, and Seattle really cruised from there on.